Welcome back. We are going to continue on with our notes. Example 5, write an equation with grouping symbols. Find the value of x so that the figures have the same area. All right, the area of a rectangle is 5 times x plus 4. That's because the formula is length times width. And for a triangle, area equals 1/2 times base times height, with this being our base and this being our height. So filling in, so we have 1/2 12 times 2x minus 6. The equation right here, they're asking us to combine them together since they want the same area. It's the same thing as saying this. Length times width equals a, which equals 1/2 times base times height. Since they both equal a, they equal each other. And over here we get 2x minus 6. And this represents a situation where the areas are the same. So first up, we see they multiply the 1/2 and the 12. So multiplying 1/2 and 12 is going to give us 6. Next, it says use the distributive property. All right, so for the distributive property, we have 5 times x, which gives us 5x. 5 times 4, which gives us positive 20. 6 times 2x. 6 times 2 is 12. The x drops down. Then 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. All right, from here it says add 36 to each side. All right, so we're going to add 36 to each side. Think about why we'd be doing this. Let's see. Well, we have a positive 20 over here and negative 36 here. It looks like we're trying to move our constants over here to keep them positive, and we have 12 x's on the right with 5 on the left. So if we move these 5 over, it'll keep our x's positive as well. So positive 36 is being added to both sides. Positive 36 and negative 36 cancel out, leaving 12x. 20 and 36 make 56. Please note that from right here, this is a two-step. Oh no, almost. Move that over. Yeah, two-step, move it over and divide. So now we're going to get rid of this 5x. So it says subtract 5x from both sides. And then positive 5x and negative 5x will cancel out, leaving 56. And then 12 minus 5 is 7. Our next step is they divide both sides by 7. And 56 divided by 7 is 8. Also note that at this point, we're in the one-step territory. All right, geometry. Find a value for x so that the figures have the same area. All right, we have two rectangles, so each one has an area of a equals length times width. So we're going to need to set up two formulas so they have the same area. So we have length and width. We have a length and a width. All right, now right here we have 3 and some unknown value. So if we think about it, this whole side is 3 plus that unknown, so we need to use this with grouping symbols. All right, so now we've assembled our values. We have a length and width for the short one, and we have a length and width for our tall one. Set the two formulas equal to each other. So we have our length is 10 times x centimeters equals length and times 6. All right, so here is the setup. The first part of the problem was to get to here. Now we have to evaluate and solve. So our first step, following the order of operations, will be to eliminate that parenthesis. We're going to need to do that with the distribution property. 6 times 3 gives me 18 centimeters squared. 6 times x centimeters gives me plus 6x centimeters squared. Then 10 times x will give us 10x centimeters squared. Our variables is the x. Our units are the centimeters squared. Now, since all of these have the same units, we'll be able to drop them in the end. We just divide out the units. So from here, we are down to a 2-step. We're going to need to move our variables to one side. I have 10 over here, 6 right here, so it makes sense that we have to do the opposite. Our 6x's cancel. 10 minus 6 is 4. X centimeters squared equals 18 centimeters squared. We are now in that 1-step range. So we're going to divide everything by 4 centimeters squared. The units cancel. Our 4's cancel, leaving an x. 18 over 4. They're both even. We can cut them in half to 9 over 2. 9 over 2 is the same as 4 1/2. If you plugged it into a calculator, you could also get 4.5. So we are looking for an x value of 4 1/2. Identities and equations with no solutions. One solution. An equation has exactly one solution if exactly one variable for the equation makes it true. No solution. Equation has no solution if there's no value for the variable that makes it true. And an identity is which it is true for all values. So here's the example they have. We're going to use the distribution property here. We got 6 times y is 6y. 6 times -5. So we get 30. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times y is 3y is 6y. When we subtract 6y from both sides, positive and negative 6y's cancel. Positive and negative 6y's cancel. Negative 30 does not equal 20. So since negative 30 does not equal 20, the equation has no solution. Seven. We're going to solve an identity. So we do our distribution step. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times -1 is -5. When we combine our like terms, 7 plus 5 is 12. Add the x. So we now have 12x minus 5 equals 12x minus 5. That's true. If we simplify it, we add 5 to both sides, we get 12x, and then if we subtract 12x from both sides, we get this. So this is a true value no matter what. They're the same equation. Since the expression on each side of the equations are the same, this equation is an identity. It is true for all values of x. Check for understanding. Solve each equation and state whether this equation has one solution, has no solution, or is an identity. All right, for our first one, we have to use the distribution property here for a use of distribution. 8 times g is 8g. 8 times positive 6 is 48. 3 times g is 3g. 3 times 16, that will be 30, and 18, which is 48. Since 5g and 3g add together to make 8g, this problem becomes 8g plus 48 equals 8g plus 48. So this is an identity. B, using distribution, 3 and 5x make positive 15x. 3 and -4 make -12 minus 10x. 15 and minus 10 combine, and what we're going to get is 5x plus 5 equals 5x minus 12. If we subtract 5x from both sides, and this is because both sides have 5x, we're left with 5 equals -12. That's false, so this is no solution. And you can just write NS for no solution. This one has one solution. It's a two-step. Subtract 3y from both sides. Not 3y, 3w. 2 equals 4w. So something times 4 is 2. Divide both sides by 4. We get 2 over 4 equals w, which will reduce 1/2 equals w. So this has one solution. Our final one, we got to do some distribution here. So following distribution, 3 times 2b is 6b. 3 times -1 is -3. This -7 will drop down. Equal sign drops down. 6b minus 10. Combine like terms. We get 6b minus 10 equals 6b minus 10. Same on both sides. If they're same on both sides, that means this is n. It's a one solution, no solution, or identity. And that is an identity. Has infinite solutions. Now, over here and talk about it, it says, could you tell that the equation was an identity before the final step and explain your reasoning? And if you had an inkling for it, the reasoning to take a look for is once we see they are equal to each other. Once you get an idea that the two sides are equal and the exact same thing, 12 is like 7, 5. Well, I know 7 and 5 make it 12, and then a -5 and a -5. About here is when I was starting to get an idea. If you eyeballed it up here, because power to you. And that's it. Thank you so much.